Live from Oahu, Hawaii. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, keenly awaited, highly anticipated edition of the afternoon swing trading floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you beautiful people to love life, and trade it. Brady Elliott's in the building. What's going on? Brandon Mayfield, my brother. Deb, what's up, Deb? Long time no see. How are you? What part of the world are you in? Jill, how's it going? Helen, how are you? Henry, Julie Coleman. Oh, yeah. What's up, Julie? Marsha Toberman, a.k.a. Mom Number 2. How's it going? Paul, what's up? Ron Buckley, Richard Farr, Steven Steckler. Pleasure to have you all here. What's going on, Angela? Thanks for all the warm welcomes. Bray says, how was rowing? It was really good, man. I've never done that before. It was the crew style rowing. Do you know what that is? I didn't know what it was until today. I didn't know the word. But the crew style, which is like the very, very small rowboats that have like the seats that slide back and forth that they do in the Olympics. So yeah, pretty sweet, man. Really cool stuff. It was a great workout. Met a great person. Got to spend some quality time with him. His name is Chris Haig. He'll be joining the Real Life Trading Floor soon. So yeah, it was really fun. Beautiful stuff. So yeah, it was nice. Pontiac says, hey, Jen, and everyone else, what's going on, buddy? How are you? Deb says, trying out the room. Yeah, cool. It's very familiar to a room that you've been in before in the past with me. Pretty much the exact same style and flow. So let's go ahead and talk about the SPY and kind of the broader markets. Today, of course, overarchingly is Energy Wednesday. So we're looking at some energy stocks as well just a little bit later in the day, talking about those. I'm just going to get that pulled up. And any questions that you guys have, let me know. But we already have a full jam-packed session today. Lost 0.8R trading today, day trading on ticker symbol ADM. I'm at 4.5R on the month for day trading. Swing trading still up thanks to some of the weekly option newsletter and some of the SPY moves. So here's the SPY for today. Most of you / all of you are, or at least should be, mathematically and numerically and technically triggered into the weekly options newsletter on the SPY. So the reason I have Twitter up here, I had a gentleman ask me earlier today, and I want to kind of let you guys know my feelings. I talked about this some yesterday. Kenny from Hong Kong says, any impact on Trump's meeting today? And my reply was simply, there should be some. Only time will tell. I'm guessing a pop higher, though, after some bearish moves. So that's kind of my thought process, because really, if you look back to the last time there was any real news as it relates to Trump and the presidency, we all know what happened, right? Had that giant gap down on this day, which was the 9th of November, and then it rallied like a monster. So that's kind of what I was expecting today, a little bit of bearish move and then some kind of a rally, and we got that exact move. So the close and the high of today are the exact same. So we have a shaved top candle. So for those of us who are in some call options, we really couldn't ask for a much better candle. That doesn't mean the trade's going to work, of course, but hopefully at this point we can lose less than 1R if not. So here's the hourly chart. So you'll notice once he began speaking and everyone was chatting and we were all having a good time, the market had a little bit of a sell-off. So there's a little sell-off right here, and then we bounced the last 3 hours of the day pretty nicely. So we will see what the SPY does. I like the candle. The hourly chart looks good. The 4-hourly chart looks good. So here's a 4-hour nice bullish candle. Stop in the perfect location, and that's pretty much it. So will we make a new high on the SPY? I don't know, but if it's going to happen, it needs to happen tomorrow. You'll notice that I wrote down yesterday the weekly options newsletter triggered. I want, need, expect SPY to make a higher high by the end of the week. If it does not, the trade will not likely be a winner. So a higher high as of the day they got triggered in on. So we have 2 more days. We will see. Tomorrow is Transportation Thursday. Friday is Finance Friday. That's all I got on the SPY other than this January 27th put the sale, which is very, very far away. So that's the SPY. The IWM today also just a tad bullish. A little bit of a lower shadow and a little bit of a white candle. What we have to keep in mind, folks, with the market after this huge bullish Santa rally or Trump rally, whatever you want to call it, but I'm calling it the Santa rally because it's seasonality, right? Happens very, very often. November, through December, usually pretty bullish. January, slightly bearish most of the time, right? Seasonality, that's usually how it works. So after we got this huge bullish move, this is a rest of momentum, right? That's all it is. This is a rest. This is a calming down period, and it's likely not going to be over. We probably will continue to rest maybe for another week or two, and then potentially we'll see some higher highs. That's really on the IWM and also on the market. Now, of course, we could continue higher, but looking at a weekly chart here, you'll notice very, very similar to this over here. Got a strong bullish run, then we pulled into the 10, then we bounced, and we got a little bit bigger of a correction. So I could easily see something like this. We make an all-time high, and then we get a little bit more of a correction, and then we bounce, right? Kerry says, I agree. I don't think it mattered who won the election. It wanted to rally. Yep, I'm with you. I'm with you, Kerry. I think it was just like a natural ebb and flow at the time of the year, a good pullback. Again, I'm not a very political person. I'm all about the stock market. I'm not here to talk politics. That's not the time or place of the show. But, yeah, I agree. I think it was just seasonality. I liked it. And, yeah, we're making all-time highs. When will we pull back? We'll probably pull back on the IWM at some point. And this 129, 130 area would be at some point late February, early March, a good place to buy the dip if we get it. Now, the cool thing is the Qs, oh my goodness, here's the daily chart on the Qs, and we now have another nice candle, nice lower shadow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 white candles in a row. So yes, there is a small rest or pullback coming on the Qs soon, but for right now, trend is bullish. Everything looks good. Here's your XLE with Energy Wednesday being today, of course. And we traded down to the 50 exponential moving average, and we have a 1 white soldier. So all I'm going to try to do is figure out where we need to get in on this trade bullish. That's going to be my job right now. So we're below the 200. Okay, that's good to know. Exponentials on a weekly, we're pulling back to the 10. Daily, we have a 1 white soldier. Hourly charts. I wonder what trade to take with this one. Here's what I'm going to write in. Let's see, trigger, and then the stop. I mean, the stop could go, is this a tweezer bottom? Tweezer bottom. 1 penny away from a perfect tweezer bottom, so that's pretty good. I like this stop. If you're looking at playing XLE a little bit more bullish, 75.07 by 73.97. That would be kind of a quick trade with the energies. Just kind of like a, hey, let's see if it bounces. Because, yeah, this could be a little bit of a double top. But that trade, if it's going to work, it should work quickly. So I would give that one not too long for it not to work. And if it works, then it should be fine. Jesse says, hey, can you say hi to Sheila? She's my coworker watching with me. What? What's up, Sheila? Watching trading from work. I like it. High fives all around. Big deal. Yes. All right. So this is the XLE, the energy sector ETF. So really, we got good volume. We got a 1 white soldier candle. We're at the 50. We're in a bullish trend. I'm more bullish than bearish at this price. I think this is more of an aggressive trade. I'm not going to make it official because it is a little bit more aggressive. But here's how I'm going to watch it. I'm going to keep a stop around here because I think that we could fill this gap. And then that's probably going to be about it. I think it's probably going to be like a 1 to 2 and kind of get a little bit choppy. Now, if you want to do a bull put spread or a put sale or something kind of wild, you're welcome to do that as well. Here's your long-term moving averages. And if you do a spread, just make sure you get below those, and you should be fine. I think this is the bounce on XLE. Wave structure, it makes sense for it to come down a little bit lower. Based on the wave structure, I would really like to see it come down to 71.68. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but what I can say is if you take this trade bullish, write in your notes, hey, if I'm wrong, no big deal. I'll look to get in again at 71.68. Okay? So that's the broader markets. Any other questions, concerns, thoughts, or oppositional viewpoints just regarding the big picture stuff that anyone might have? Otherwise, I will go ahead and get this pulled up. By the way, Sheila, if you're still around, I want you to know how serious Jesse takes this. He is a hardworking, devoted gentleman who has spent the last really few years learning the stuff and trading with me personally, and he's just a great guy overall. So hardworking dude. Hardworking dude. So he's serious. He's not like trying to introduce you to some multi-level marketing pyramid scheme. It's a legit thing, the stock market. People actually do it from time to time. All right, cool. So we got a list of stocks we're going to look at. We actually created this list on Monday because there were so many people so eager for me to look at their stocks. I went ahead and planned out the entire week because there's just a lot of traders who were excited. We should be able to get through all these today, and if there's some time left over, we'll rock it out. But let's just go ahead and get started. HanesBrands is one that I wanted to look at to see if we're going to take it bullish on a swing trade. So here's what I was looking for: is it was this double bottom right here, beautiful gap, and I wanted to see if it was going to retest the neckline. Today, we did in fact retest that neckline. I do not think this trade triggers, at least tomorrow, but if it does, the bears will be trapped. So this is a trade that I will end up making official. I need to plan it for at least 24 hours, so I'm going to put it on the list for tomorrow. So we're going to look at HBI again tomorrow, along with Expedia today. So this is HanesBrands. We're retesting. Why do I not just simply take the retest here? Right? Why am I not taking the retest? Well, really, we got a pennant pattern right here. And that pennant pattern, right, when you have a pennant pattern, it's supposed to continue in the direction of the trade. So since it's not, I'm like, this looks a little bit more bearish to me. And so that I knew that since it was a pennant pattern, if it did retest, and I'm okay with losing, that's fine. But really, the retest came 3 days ago on that neckline, and we just never made a higher high. So my stop would be here, and if I was already in the trade, I'd be getting stopped out potentially tomorrow, but we'll see. The trader formerly known as Terrence, is that Linderman? He says 18 hours. Yeah, so it's new. The new and reformed trading rule for me is now 18 hours. So I have to plan a trade for 18 entire clock Earth hours before I can take the trade, which can be brutal sometimes, but usually turns out to be a blessing in disguise. It is Terrence. Okay, gotcha. Cool. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, awesome. So that's HanesBrands. We're going to look at it again tomorrow. I don't think this triggers, but if it does, I'll take it later towards the end of the day, but I'll let you guys all know. We'll just kind of keep an eye on it and see what it does. That's HanesBrand. Here's Berry Plastic. Berry Plastic. So carved out an R on this trade. And I think it was Steven Jackson or Jesse, one of those two beautiful humans, mentioning this looked ready for a swing trade. And I have to agree. We traded this trade once before, and you got some good resistance here at 50.56. 50.56. So I wonder if we'll pull back to that price. Let me pull up the exponential moving averages. I'm just going to look at this chart again on the daily and then the weekly. Weekly, what does the weekly look like? All right, nice little trend. So you got the break out of this distribution phase. We moved higher. We've retested now. Earnings are in late February. My only question on this trade is how long will it take for me actually to make money? If I don't make money, no big deal. Limit buy. Obviously, you have this resistance at the all-time high. It's never been higher than that price. My question is it going to break through the all-time high? I think it will. Based on volume. So an entire month to go. Jesse, I'm going to let you make the call. Make that trade official, yay or nay. You hold all the power. You got my wallet in your hands, man. I either eat or I don't eat, and it's all because of you. It was already because of you about a month ago when we did not eat, but I like it. All right, Barry, swing trade. We liked this one before. Volume looks nice, and wave rotation on daily and weekly. Simply looking for a pullback for trend to maybe continue. Worst case scenario, we lose an R and we live to see another day. So just because I'm making this trade official, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't mean that we should take all of our retirement savings and dump it into this trade. Don't do that. I've done that before and I lost all of it. So in order to not lose all of your money, you have to not risk it all. So yeah, don't do it. Do not do that. All right, let me see if I can pull this up. Here's the trade journal. Sign in. Oh, I got to sign in. All right, give me 7 seconds. This password's pretty easy to remember. Pretty easy password. All right, real life trading. Marsha Toberman is amazing. All right. So I'm going to put this in the swing trade. Oops, apparently not. I got to open it up again. Give me like 6 seconds. This usually should take too long. Oh, that's TD Ameritrade. That's the broker. That's the broker. All right, real life trading journal. Gonna pop in here. Sorry, it's going a little slow. My computer is just like, help me. I abuse this computer. All right, so we had an official trade set up on Monsanto, and it just did not trigger. So I canceled it. So this one is going to be 50-50 by 48.46. 50-50 by 48.46. We traded it before and made about an R, so I feel comfortable doing that. So let's do some shares. I think it's a good setup based on a gap and go from not too long ago. It's open because it has not triggered yet. And we'll put the chart in the chat pane, and there you guys go. All right, Berry Plastic, done. We'll figure out the target once and if it triggers. The target's always the least important part. It's always about the risk reward, right? Let your winners run. They can run as high as they want to sometimes. So I'll figure out the target later, because once it breaks that resistance, it's never been higher. So who knows? Victor says, hello, what's going on, Victor? How's it going, brother? Here's CELG. And CELG, this is a biotech, which I have learned, biotech and pharmaceuticals. You can jot this one down for the next 4 years. They can be very volatile anytime Trump says anything. Anytime Trump or Hillary make some kind of statement, biotech and pharmaceuticals are going to make some moves. So CELG, I was looking at potentially buying this double bottom looking thing on a retest. And if you did take that trade and you got stopped out, no big deal. I haven't really talked about this trade. It's just when I was kind of drawing, I decided to wait. I was like, you know, it's very, very choppy. So if you look at it, right, it's more sideways than anything. In the last few weeks, the days, it's more bullish to neutral. So I'm really just trying to find a longer term play on it. Like you'll notice, Adrian has a January 2019 call. So he's in there for the long haul. I'm going to wait on CELG. I don't see much. Earnings is coming around the corner. Here's what I would like to see happen at some juncture is if CELG trades down to here and then bounces over earnings, then maybe a bull put spread, and that's probably about it. So for right now, not too much going on CELG. So speaking of Monsanto, mentioned it just a few moments ago. So the Monsanto trade setup was pretty simple. I wanted an entry here on a pullback with a stop right there. That's what I wanted. So Bob, who is in Slack and a great trader, he's in some April calls on Monsanto. Earnings is done. I can always figure out if there's some premium for a bull put spread. I doubt it, but let's go check. And it's really easy just to check also on Yahoo Finance. Monsanto. Trump's eyebrows need a little bit of a trimming. All right, let me see if I can pull up Monsanto. Monsanto, let's go. Okay, open the options. Give me about 20 seconds, let this load. Yahoo Finance recently has been going really slow. I could go all the way out till February because, again, earnings and dividends have already transpired. That's already happened. So we can see if we can get a little bit farther out. What I'm going to do is look below these long terms. So like a 102, 101 would be exactly what I want. So I have $2.50 increments. 197.50. So the bid-ask spread, kind of weird. Open interest is also pretty low. So let me go back to February week 2. February and January. Weird month names. I've never met anyone named February before. Or January. I think I was talking about that the other day. I've met in April, a May, June. Don't know any Augusts. Yeah, okay. That reminds me why I didn't do any option trade on Monsanto. I don't really like the options that much. All right. Well, it looks like we won't do much on Monsanto. If you like Monsanto longer term, it does kind of look like an inverted head and shoulders. You're above a lot of moving averages here. I think a 102 either put sale or bull put spread below that price is free money, but that's kind of up to you if you can even find anything down there. If you want to jot it down, great. If not, no big deal. All right, CLR. CLR, Continental Resources. This is the weekly chart, and it just happened to be up, right? I don't usually start with a weekly chart necessarily. But 47.44, very good old resistance, new support. That's also the 200 on the weekly. So that big red line is the 200-something moving average. So a great place to buy if it can actually pull down there. Michael said, have you known any Marches? I have known a March, actually. Yep. CLR. Who was looking at taking this trade? I think somebody was looking at taking this trade bearish, if I recall. So this is going to be an interesting bracket trade of sorts. I forget who exactly was looking at taking it, so I apologize about that. But I will say it's doing exactly what it would make sense that it's doing. Black candle gapping down, retest gap. This is the retest right here. So today is a one white soldier candle. So if it closes, rolls down below 49.36, a little bit bearish into this 47.56 price range, which the risk reward on that is okay. Or if it closes above 51.45, some of the bears would be trapped to be above the 100, a little bit of a pullback and then a bounce, and you could likely see a little bit of a higher high on Continental Resources for the bullish trade. So if you're looking at playing at Pontiac, I'd probably say it looks like a buy low, sell high for a longer term trade. Bearishly, here's your hourly chart. We're simply retesting. So not a shocking event. Now we'll just have to see if we actually roll over, which is always the question mark, right? This is classic. Is the trade going to do what you think is going to do? On a primary trend, this stock is bullish. On an intermediate trend, the stock is bullish to neutral. And on a short-term trend, it's bearish. So you have one time frame that's bearish. The rest are more bullish than not. You got good volume spikes down here. You've got higher highs and higher lows. So the trend edge is bullish. So if you're looking at playing it bearish, you're just kind of like, all right, well, is it going to do this and then roll over? That's just going to be the big question mark, and no one really knows. So that's CLR. That's kind of what I think. Pine says, I'm in already. Swing was under my break even yesterday. Now up a smidge. Are you in bullish? I just can't remember. So if you're in bullish, I'll say, yeah, you're in bullish. That's how you're up. Yep, you're in bullish. Okay, awesome. Well, great. Well, this is why the afternoon room exists, because some traders will tell me about a trade in the morning room or in an email or something. And like, hey, can you look at it for me? So I'll put it in here, and then we'll look at it. And there you go, man. High five. All right, so there's CLR. I dig it. So if it closes above 51.45, looks like that trade could continue. EVOK, Evoke Pharmacy Incorporated. Yeah, I'm going to watch this one very closely. Can anyone tell me how I'm looking at taking this trade, if you can guess? I do not trade pharmaceutical companies on a longer term level because they scare the mess out of me and I don't understand them. So here's the deal. White candle, gapped up, so it's a retest gap, traded into the long-term moving averages and is now fading pretty nicely. So from here, if you're looking at playing this, you look to play it bullish off of that old resistance, new support. And if it does not, well, I'll say if it bounces bullish and then shows any sign of a rollover bearishly, that likely would get stopped out of the bullish trade and then could continue to simply trade it bearish. So you can kind of get to decide, do you want to trade EVOK bullish or bearish? If you're looking at trading it bullish, it's at the location where it should bounce. But looking at the last snapshot, all the data that I can see on my screen, I'm guessing it's going to keep going lower. Right? I'm using the past. So tell me if you can see a very similar wave rotation, a very similar price movement. I'll show it to you if you can't see it. Right? But the stock market's all about patterns. And that's the one small thing I'm okay at. White candle, gapped up, retest gap, traded down to this purple line, bounced, and then went lower. Bounced, and then went lower. I think we have a quick bounce for a day trading opportunity, and I think we roll lower. That's what I'll be waiting for. That's what I'll be planning for anyone looking to trade. Ticker symbol EVOK. All right, next is ticker symbol MACK, Mac the Knife, Merrimack Pharmaceuticals. And again, pharmaceuticals getting beat up real bad. Daily trade. So if you're looking at this trade right here, trend is bearish. If you're looking at a weekly chart, trend is, well, bearish, and it's coming into some support. So really on MACK, this pharmaceutical company, it's come down to $2.34. You might guess that my good buddy from North Carolina, who buys any pharmaceutical company if it's below $5, is looking at getting into this trade down there at $2.40. He doesn't just blindly buy if it's at $5. Like, he'll pull up the chart and look at it. You know, I do think he bought back here, and now he's going to dollar cost average when it gets down to 2 something. That's just my guess, right? You guys are all familiar with his strategy. He just buys if it's below 5, and then his stop is 0. He's willing to risk $5 on every pharmaceutical. So, yeah, that's what I got. Support 250. That's probably where it's headed. That does not mean that it's an amazing short right now. The reason I say that is because if you look at this trade, you'll notice it's had a few bearish spikes. So if you're looking at trading it bearish again, wait for that spike to get in bearish and then short it. Buy the dip, short the rip, I think is the terminology for what we're looking at right here on Merrimack Pharmaceuticals. All right. General Electric, GE. Doesn't get much more long-term blue chip buy and hold dividend than General Electric. Hey, here's a shocking statistic for you guys. Did you know that Facebook's market capitalization is bigger than General Electric? What? Facebook? And Facebook, from a population standpoint, is the 3rd biggest country in the world. Oh my goodness. That's a crazy stat right there. So anyway, GE, here's your weekly chart. And folks, trading big, long-term, huge dividend blue chip stocks are pretty simple. How do you guys think these are traded? Now again, so we all know I don't trade GE that much. I'm not a big blue chip buy and hold dividend kind of fan right now. Right? I'm younger, so I have to be a little bit more aggressive. But on the longer term stuff, yeah, absolutely. So when you're playing stocks like this, it's on a longer term level. Draw big support resistances and buy the dip. When it pulls back and you get a good discount, I mean, look at this. Again, I did not take that trade. But is that an easy trade to take? I mean, you're already up 10% on your stock on GE, for goodness sakes, you know? Now, again, there's nothing sexy about GE. I get that. Right? Hey, if you make 10% in a year on GE, you're doing good. But that's what this stock is built for. That's what it has become. So longer term on this particular trade, if you're looking at playing it short term, anytime I pull up a stock like GE, Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, I'm just like, where's my long-term support? And that's where I'll buy there. And if not, I'll try to sell a put down at that support. So I'm personally not going to do this trade, especially if there's no premium. But let me just go and see if there's anything for February. I highly doubt it. And by highly and doubt, you'll probably see there's not going to be a lot of money down here, but you'll never know. You might be able to go out far, maybe like March or something, and get a 1%. But that's not that bad. Let's see. Just give me a few seconds. Let Yahoo Finance load. Yahoo has been very, very slow recently, and it's been annoying. Okay, so this put sale is $28. There's 8 cents for February week 5. So let's go all the way here to March, and March will be the last one I look at. If there's not more than 30 cents, then I won't look at anything. Michael, what's up, buddy? 28. Yeah. You got 12 whole pennies down there at 28, which again, it's General Electric. So you're getting 0.5% to sell premium and buy the dip, but I don't have anything on GE. I will put Lulu on the list, Michael. If I can't get to it today, I'll put it on the list for tomorrow, okay? All right, so there is General Electric. Let's go look at eBay. So eBay, I have a few traders in this trade. This is an article, a trade setup that I wrote for Trader Planet for anyone who subscribes to Trader Planet. I help write some articles on that site to enrich lives, and I also publish this one in TradingView. So eBay, I mean, earnings are coming up, but here's pretty much what my article said. Let me see what this idea is. Ooh, wave count and fibs. Let me see if I was correct on this. This is why I publish the ideas, because sometimes, oh heavens, oh geez. All right, so let's see how I did 3 months ago. Michael Ward, you ready? Tell Vinny that you watched this in person, because he'll be mind blown. So here's the deal. I can already tell that this is going to be just beautiful. All right, so I'm going to press the play button. Check that out, ladies and gentlemen. So we got the wave 4. So when I draw these freehand, right? So they don't have it, you know, an algorithm or anything. So I don't get the price or the time. Sometimes I get it to the penny, but very rarely. But anyway, bottom line is all I'm saying is right here, I was expecting a pullback. That was what that analysis is. And the analysis is saying, okay, you're in the wave 3. Let that pullback come in. What that's doing is that's a retest of old resistance, new support. Have you guys heard me say that before? When the stock breaks out, retest. So there's the retest. So I think this is the wave 5 that we're in right now. I think we're in that. And so being long down here on eBay makes sense. Now, does that mean the trade's going to work? No, but, you know, based on, let me go in here to a daily chart. I can figure out this wave. So here's another double bottom, this time on the daily. Boom, 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 boom. Broke above, retested the neckline, broke out of that, retested that level. So, you know, if eBay continues higher, I will plan on getting out before earnings. I don't specifically want to hold this trade all the way through earnings. So if I can make a penny on it or so, then I will. But that's my analysis on eBay. There's a few traders in on that one. There's not a lot of premium or anything until earnings. So I'm hoping that this just kind of trades up within. Honestly, let me go ahead and give myself a time stop on this trade. I want this trade to be in the green before next Tuesday. Why next Tuesday? A little selfish of me, but Tuesday just happens to be Tech Giant Tuesday, so I'll already get a chance to look at it with you beautiful people. Yeah. All right, so eBay, done. Next on the list is, where are we? Duke Energy. So this is the another blue chip buy and hold stock that I've been featuring in the winter portfolio. And the last time I drew a freehand wave mentioning for it to come down and then bounce. So the day that I wanted it to bounce was about 2 to 3 days ago, and I got the price a little off by a few cents. But again, these drawings are more for an idea of what to look for and to kind of be patient, ready for it to happen. So on a longer term level, that's how I view Duke Energy. Here is let me just hide off my drawings for just a second. Here's all my long-term perspective on Duke Energy. We just retested the 100. The 100 simple after we broke out of it. So if you're looking at trading it bullish, there's nothing amazingly quick about Duke Energy. It's just on the bottom of a trend. There's not a lot of put sale premium. There's not a lot of bull put spread premium, but there are some traders here who do have shares longer term and they want to sell a covered call. And so my analysis was, if you want to do that, just wait. Let the stock maybe bounce down here, gain some equity, and then kind of go from there. Nice, Linderman. Linderman says, freehand, huh? Another free thing at Real Life Trading. You know it, bro. Just trying to be like you, man. One day, ladies and gentlemen, one day, 9 years from now, my analysis is going to be 1/47th as good as Justin Linderman's analysis is. 9 years from now, I will make 1/47th of a percent of a growth of improvement. But until then, I'll just keep trekking, Linderman. Gonna keep doing my best, dude. All right. LNG, a stock that we follow all the time, very often, and I got good news for you on LNG. We got ourselves a big triangle. It appears we broke out of that triangle on last week. And now, for a longer term position trade, more of a swing trade kind of a position, I'm looking to get in bullish on LNG. My only question is going to be where? Where is my entry? So I'm seeing two bearish candles. So I get the choice of doing two things. So I'm looking at a longer term swing trade. I can decide, A, do I want to do a put sale? Because if I want to own shares here, right? If I want to buy shares right here, why in the world would I not be comfortable buying shares down here? So I can do a put sale. I can do a bull put spread. I can buy shares, or I can buy call options. I've already mentioned the term longer term about 4 or 5 times now, so I'm not going to be doing options. Likely looking to do, initially, I'll look to do a put sale on it, because most of my January put sales are all fine, and I don't think there's going to be a problem with them. Unless, of course, we get some kind of black swan event, but really the black swan event would have been today or the inauguration, and it's not going to be that. I can guarantee you we're not going to have a 15% sell-off next Friday in the markets. So if that happens, because all my put sales are 15% out from where they are, which is huge. You know, so if we get a 15% sell-off next Friday, I mean, I'll eat a shoe. All right, let me pull this up. I'm going to look for February. This will be my first February put sale. And if not, I'll look to do some shares. If there's no premium above there, I will look to do shares with a close, and I'm going to hop into the hourly to verify that price. Put sale premium, $37.50. Come to daddy. Get about 37 cents. Oh, geez. Why is that so much? It's a little too good. When's earnings? Earnings whisper. Mark says, so where's LNG's resistances? We will look at it in just a quick second. Oh, man, I only got 20 minutes left. Oh, geez. February 2nd. That's why there's so much premium. Ah, okay. So TradingView has it way down here. Sometimes when the stock market's too good to be true, they usually are. I was getting 1% premium on a put sale for right there, which I feel like is free money. But over earnings, I guess you never really know. So unless you want to hold shares over earnings, which some of you are already in shares and some of you want to do, in this particular position, let me see if I can clear my drawing. Why can't I clear my drawing? That's weird. Oh, I have the other drawing on. That's why. Duh. Longer term, keep an eye here on LNG. The next real resistance is right here, this 45.87. But we're making higher lows, and if this is really a triangle, then you can't worry about the most recent high because at some point it's got to break out. So really, until then, the next true resistance will be about 53.58. But if you guys know triangle theory, a triangle should break out to the size of its first wave. So 52 to 22, so $30 or $70. Now, am I saying it's going to move $70 in 1 week? No. But begin to keep an eye on LNG here on a longer term basis for shares, because the last time I said that, well, I said that back in February also, but really the last time I said that was right here. And I can't remember if Vinny traded this one with me or not. Let me make sure I'm getting my triangle correct. Give me like 6 seconds. Yep, it was this triangle right here. So last time I mentioned a nice little triangle on LNG, it was this one. Right back there. Sorry for the drawing, it's kind of rough. But yeah, so that was back in the day. Back in the day, a few years ago, back in 2013. There's no way 2013 was 4 years ago. Am I doing the math on that correct? No, no way. Get out of here. That's impossible. 4 years ago, 2013? Oh, geez. Man, time flies, guys. All right, so that's LNG. Let's hop over here to First Solar, which there's a few traders in here who like this stock. We trade this one a few times, safe to say. So this is a daily chart on First Solar, and we did have a good bullish move today, up 4%. Down in this price range, there's no question that I'm looking or keeping an eye on First Solar to be at least a little bit more bullish than bearish. The 100 simple on a daily chart will be a strong resistance. How do I know that? Any guesses? Boop. If it happened once, it'll probably happen again. Plus, it's a very strong resistance level in itself, that price range. So right here on First Solar at 35, I don't have any position on First Solar and long-term or short-term since it started breaking this support. I tried it back here at 40, didn't work. So now I'm like, all right, well, let's see what's going to happen. So on a longer-term basis, it kind of looks like First Solar is going to do this, double bottom, give me another a little bit more of a retest, and then probably roll over lower. Right? Again, this is not a political statement, but I think we can all agree that Mr. Trump is not the biggest fan of solar companies necessarily. So I don't see any real reason why First Solar would continue higher. So that's pretty much it. So the last time, let me see if that's correct. So the last 8 years, we're going to be going back a ways. But even during the Obama administration, when he took office and everyone thought Obama would be really big into clean energy, we can still see what First Solar did, So I'm just saying that to say that it doesn't really matter who's in office or what their thoughts are. Stocks can move in a way however they want to, unless they have a direct impact in the industry or the sector. So I'm seeing First Solar as a little bit more speculative long-term for me right now. I see it as more of a wait and see and like to see if I can buy it lower. That's what I got on First Solar. Henry says, how does a cash dividend on common stock work? I have 3 shares in PIP, and it has a $2.09 share coming up February 3rd. I will email me that question. Email that question to brad@reallifetrading.com, Henry, and Brad and or his father, Ed, will give you a much longer-winded answer than I will, which is what you're looking for. And also, if anyone in the chat pane wants to answer Henry as well, more than welcome to. But Henry, if you want to email Brad that exact question, he'll take care of you. All right, First Solar, there we go. Here's PayPal, PYPL. And PayPal, I'm kind of upset that I'm not in right now. I know Joe Evans, or at least I think Joe Evans is in bullish on this one. I wanted to close above 40.04 to watch for the bull, which that's a kind of a terrible thing to say, but that's what I was looking for. And it all started with this candle right here. That sounds like a story. It all started with one candle. But that one right there, that gorgeous hammer candle, which kind of looks like we have on the SPY today, so I'm hoping the SPY moves higher. I like PayPal, bullish. Let's see how we can trade it bullish. Looks like we're in a flag pattern of some kind. Let me zoom in here to the hourly chart, because this is the money-making chart right here, folks. This is where dreams come to die. All right. I don't know if we pull back to here or not. Limit buy. So why am I choosing that price? Resistance right there. That's the only reason why I'm choosing that exact resistance. I'm like, all right, well, Resistance, resistance. It appears that we may or may not have bounced off of that price before. So we'll see. All right, here is the daily chart on PayPal. No, that would really trap people if it traded down to there after today's candle. Really, the way to enter was on the 6th, so I think we might have missed this trade unless I scoot up the entry to here. Earnings is right around the corner, though. Here's the deal. Write PayPal down on your list to watch it for a bullish, quick swing trade or day trade, and that'll be it. So that's PayPal. Here's Intel. Niels, do you have any update for me on Intel? My analysis on Intel, earnings are right around the corner. Bullish primary trend for the last few years. Here's your weekly chart. We are still in a giant distribution phase. So again, I'm going to zoom out here to a weekly. So since 2009, which really most stocks have been in a bullish primary trend, we got a big distribution phase, but you're making higher lows. Niels, I got exciting news for you, man. This stock could break out in 2016 or 2017. Thomas says, have you shown a pre-earnings plan for Delta Airlines? I'll be looking at Delta Airlines tomorrow, Thomas, in the afternoon. Going to be pumped. So, yeah, I'm thinking it could break out this year, Niels. I like the 100 simple, the 200 simple. Things are looking really, really good. I like this little triangle pattern right here. Bullish to neutral on Intel. Tom says morning earnings in the AM. Correct. I will look at it if I get a chance to today. I think we have time. We'll be cutting it close. All right, here's MRO, Marathon Oil. And Marathon Oil, I know a few traders doing some put sales on this one. I don't have any position on Marathon Oil. I think Ford Schwartz does. Dean Chance might. This is a very cute little candle today, a nice little new white soldier. The last 3 candles are a morning star reversal pattern. Marathon Oil and Rig. Let me see if I have Rig on my list. I'm pretty sure I do. Why do I not have Rig on my list? That's weird. So Marathon Oil and Rig are 2 similar ones in my opinion, both with similar properties. I like both of them longer term. I have a put sale on Rig at $12. There was no point in me doing a put sale on Rig and MRO. I like both of them the same. It's a 50-50, so I just went with Rig. Why not? Whatever. Got to choose one, right? So I think we've done approximately 16 profitable put sales on Rig now over the last year and a half, 2 years. Haven't gotten put to stock yet. So whenever I do, my cost basis will definitely be reduced. But both Rig and MRO, pull these up on a weekly chart, and it looks like they have a long way to go. Marathon Oil is battling the 100 simple moving average. So if and when we can break above that, this stock should continue higher. ExxonMobil, this is one of this and British Petroleum, which I should have on the list also, I do. This and British Petroleum are the 2 energy stocks I like the best on a long-term perspective, meaning I'd be totally fine holding this trade for years, and I won't sell unless it's still profit. Buy and hold, dividends, do covered calls when you're bored to bring in extra money. So this 92.50 covered call on ExxonMobil, which we did back here, will expire worthless next week. Almost a perfect tweezer bottom on ExxonMobil. Me and Johnny Guarco were looking at this one earlier this morning. It opened up. You had a lot of bearish candles in a row, so today's retest makes sense. I'm not saying, that, of course, that we can't go lower, but if you look at a weekly chart also on ExxonMobil, you got a really good support down here at this $85 price range. So really have a decent looking double bottom. We broke out, and this is a neckline retest. I don't play ExxonMobil in a shorter term very often. Every now and then I'll day trade it, which I did 2 or 3 days ago for a 2-hour gain. This day right here on the 5th of January. So yeah, if you're looking at trading ExxonMobil, it's a longer term level. Put sales will be adequate, or just buying low, selling high. ETP, Energy Transfer Partners. I only know one trader in this one, and that's the #1 guy in Puerto Rico, Victor Gonzalez, a.k.a. the King, a.k.a. G Money. And if you guys ever want to get a Victor Gonzalez original painting, feel free to email me and let me know. I bought one from him, and they're going to be worth a lot of money one day. Right now, they're not very expensive, even with shipping. But yeah, they're beautiful pictures. So email me if you ever want a Victor Gonzalez original. Energy Transfer Partners. Victor has a put sale expiring next Friday. Vic, looks good, man. At $31. Do you like the strategy yet? Looks like you'll probably have to do it again for 32 or 33 for sometime February or March. So that's all I have on ETP. It is bullish to neutral, longer term, like most energies are right now. Here's Oracle, which I found out the CEO owns an entire island here in Hawaii called Lanai somehow. How do you own an island? How do you make a – what's the mortgage like on an island? I would like a 30-year adjustable rate mortgage on Island Lanai, if you don't mind. Or you're going to need a 40% down payment, sir. You want to take a check, or how's that work? Linderman says, I just checked the math, and it has been 4 years since the start of 2013, but only 3 years since the end of 2013. So that may be why it doesn't seem like it's 4 years. Pretty dramatically incredible, though, right, Linderman? Pretty fantastic, but I appreciate doing that math for me, man. It's amazing. Oracle, another pretty decent blue chip, right? Very choppy, as you can see, longer-term bullish trend. You have a gorgeous Morningstar reversal pattern right now on the 200 simple moving average on a weekly chart right now. So your daily chart, you've had earnings, you've had dividends. I'm not going to do a trade on Oracle, but this is, I think, where Vinny and Michael Ward and a few others both work. So I will kind of show you the channel. And Mr. Ward, if you want to trade this channel on Oracle, it's about as easy as watching Netflix. Buy low, sell high. It doesn't get much more complicated than that on Oracle. Usually pretty easy analysis on blue chip stocks. Just draw some support and resistance and buy low, sell high. Boom. Don't know if you can trade the own stock that you work at. You probably have stock options, but usually when I worked at Nationwide, I had a lot of customers who I talked to on the phone once they figured out I trade stock, asked me about, share options and stock options and things like that. And I usually try to ask the companies if you can divert my stock options into a cash holdings that I can then transfer into stock options when I want to, simply because I will look at the chart, and if they want to give me stock options here, why do I want to buy them when I can just get them in cash and then buy them down here? So it depends if you're hearing this and you have the choice of doing that. Most of the time you don't, but I guess you never know. All right, so that's Oracle. Here's TJ Maxx, ticker symbol TJX. TJ Maxx, and what's this doing on the daily? Nada. Not a lot. Very choppy on the daily. I don't see much. Weekly. It looks more bullish to me than anything, but I don't see anything that just jumps out at me and says, hey, you should probably get into this. If it closed above this particular price on TJ Maxx, which is approximately $77.26, I wouldn't be bearish, but that's what I got. All right, TJ Maxx, CHK, Chesapeake Energy, which Jesse said that hasn't really been making any moves recently. I agree. I did a freehand drawing on Chesapeake, and I mentioned that I likely would trade down a little bit lower, and we get some type of rotation in about a week from now on CHK. So if it starts breaking lower in the next week, it's going to roll down more. And if it breaks higher in the next week, it's going to continue higher. I think this wave rotation, I spent a little bit of time on that drawing. I think that's actually pretty correct. Not necessarily that it has to go down that far, but really that something on this week is coming. I like the fact that you got a doji right there. So the reason I said it's likely going to be a little bit bearish is because of this 100 simple moving average, just punching it right in the face, Mike Tyson style. But that looks like a gorgeous pennant pattern to me. And today's only Wednesday, but if we end another 2 days with a doji like that on CHK, that'll probably be one of the easiest trades I'm going to set up next week when I get back, when the market opens on Tuesday. Ron, your covered call is going to expire worthless on CHK. Let me give Ron a quick shout out. Where is he? Where is he? Ron, looks like your CHK covered call will be fine. Nice. Some good jokes in the chat pane. I love jokes. You guys are doing great. CHK. All right. British Petroleum is probably my #1 favorite energy stock. I've gotten asked this one a lot. Why? It's cheap. It's volatile. It pays dividends as good option premium. Those are my reasons why. Got a great gain on BP a few months back. Can exercise at a covered call, and I've done put sales ever since. My $32 put sale on British Petroleum is going to expire worthless. My 2017 target on BP is 45. So let me post that. Now, could I be wrong? Am I just smoking the wrong kind of stuff? Maybe. But that fib right there, that's almost Vinny Patel good. Almost. I'll never be quite that good, but one day. Target 2017 target. I've been doing a few of these recently, and I'm gonna kind of draw my weekly wave rotation. This is my guess on BP. This is my thoughts as to what this year holds for BP. Wave is hand drawn. The reason I'm writing this is, and the reason I've been saying that a lot lately is because I've been getting asked like 1.5 million times what algorithm or strategy I use to draw my lines. No algo used. Bullish on it. Which is fine. It's a valid question, by the way. I'm not saying it like in a mean way. I'm just saying I'm just trying to write that down more so that people just know there's nothing special out there that they're missing. Because that's what they like. Hey, Jeremy, how do I get that algorithm that you use to draw your lines? You know, after they see this, and they'll see that little drawing, but it's not an algo. It's just me making a wild guess that sometimes gets a little bit closer than I thought possible. All right, so now I will delete all that so that I have a clean chart and my eyeballs don't hurt. But the put sale will expire worthless, and I'll be doing those probably all year on BP and hope to make about 17 bucks. All right, we got 3 left in 2 minutes. Let's do it. Chevron, ticker symbol CVX. I'm going to roll. Here's your weekly charts. Chevron broke out of its resistance. Niels, your put sale expired worthless. Congratulations. We have traded to my wave 5 target on Chevron. True story. We drew that wave about 1.5 years ago on Chevron, and we made it to the wave 5 target. So what now? Personally, I think Chevron is going to be a little bit more of an ABC corrective cycle. I think if and when it pulls back to 109, it's a little bit more viable down that particular location on Chevron. Here is the next stock, SRPT. And SRPT, on the daily chart, huge candle stuck in between the long-term moving averages. Either buy the dip or look to buy the breakout tomorrow if it breaks higher above that 100 simple moving average. Next is Expedia, ticker symbol EXPE, and Expedia still trading sideways. I like it. So we're going to need to close above that price on Expedia. I'm going to put a stop in here, right here. I'll be making that trade likely official tomorrow, depending on what it does. I got it on the list. And I'm going to look at Lulu tomorrow for you. And then Delta, since we're looking at tomorrow, let me just talk about what likely I expect on Delta for you. Let's see if it's doing anything right now. Details. Nope, not much. So Delta, if it gaps up to the all-time high or higher, I'm expecting it to retest. If it gaps down perfectly into here, I'll be a little bit bearish. Same thing with perfectly into here. No, actually, that's going to be a trap. I just know it. So I'm going to make that bullish. And then the next one will be down here. If it gaps all the way down here in some unimaginable turn of events, that'll be bullish as well. Okay, green. And this will be my last chart of the day. Get my drawing, gap up, something like that. All right. Oh, shoot. Pre-earnings analysis on Delta. Just my thoughts. Green box is bullish for day trade and swing perspectives. Red is bearish. Don't know what it's going to do, though. We'll find out likely tomorrow in the morning, and then we'll be looking at it tomorrow afternoon. And that's pretty much it on Delta Airlines. Ladies and gentlemen, a fantastic day. Tomorrow, Transportation Thursday. Transportation Thursday, here's what we got already on the list. I added Lulu. Let's rock it out tomorrow. If you guys have any questions, anything you need, feel free to email me. But you guys absolutely rock. Deb says, hey, Jeremy, it's Deb. How are you doing? Doing absolutely fantastic. Doing very, very well. Thanks for asking. Ladies and gentlemen, have an amazing day. Thanks for being here. You absolutely rock. I will see you tomorrow. And, yeah, until then, remember, love life, live life, and trade. You guys rock. Bye.